The most powerful man in American law enforcement thought he was untouchable. For years, James Comey towered over Washington, literally and figuratively, playing kingmaker while claiming to be above the fray. He leaked, he lied, he weaponized the FBI against a sitting president. Well, tomorrow morning, that changes forever. The indictment is real. The surrender is happening. And according to President Donald J. Trump himself, Comey is just the first. The deep state's day of reckoning has arrived and the dominoes are starting to fall. What you're about to see isn't justice delayed. It's a complete unraveling of the most corrupt cabal in American history. The evidence is overwhelming. The witnesses are talking. The storm has arrived. So keep watching. While the deep state drained America's wealth through corruption and weaponized agencies, hardworking families, they pay the price. 1 in 4 low-income households spend 15% of income on electricity alone. Since 2022, rates climbed faster than inflation while bureaucrats got rich. That's why I protect my home with this energy-saving device. It stabilizes electrical current, reduces dirty electricity, and helps lower bills, fighting back against their economic warfare. Just plug it in, works instantly behind the scenes. You'll even get a $100 utility rebate certificate. It's now 60% off at don'twastepower.com. Take back control from those who have stolen enough. Order at don'twastepower.com. You'll find it linked down below. So the day of reckoning has arrived, my friends. The news broke late last night. We told you it would. We knew that when we broadcast that first message, that first segment yesterday, that the indictment was only hours away. And here is the news as it broke.
Justice Department. Welcome back. Breaking right now. Tonight, a major update to a story we brought to you earlier in the hour. A grand jury has just handed down an indictment for former FBI Director James Comey. The Justice Department accuses Comey of lying to Congress while under oath back in 2020. Let's bring in David Spunt with all the breaking details. David, what can you tell us?
Well, Jillian, we are waiting to get the actual details of the indictment. We're just told that an indictment has been handed up against the former FBI Director James Comey. So I don't want to speculate on the actual charges yet until I see the paper in hand. That's the only responsible thing to do. But we know that James Comey, the former FBI Director, has been indicted. We're waiting to see if there's any sort of comment from the Justice Department.
But we do have comment from James Comey himself. Even Adam Schiff, Donald Trump forced out a respected U.S. attorney because they wouldn't go along with Trump's demands for political prosecutions. Less than a week later, his inexperienced handpicked successor brings charges against a member of Trump's enemies list. In my almost 6 years as an assistant U.S. attorney, I never witnessed such a blatant abuse of the department. The DOJ is now little more than an arm of the president's retribution campaign. Well, let it be. But there are community notes on this post because Adam Schiff needs to be checked. Fact check. A grand jury in Virginia found probable cause to indict Mr. Comey. From the evidence produced in the investigation of former FBI Director James Comey, the grand jury of his peers issued the indictment. Oh, what's the source? The Department of Justice. So an independent grand jury did it. And hopefully we'll see an independent grand jury send you an indictment, too. Mark Vargas of the Illinois Review had this to say. James Comey turns to Patrick Fitzgerald, the godfather to his child and the failed prosecutor who rigged the Blagojevich case by manipulating the jury and hiding evidence. Birds of a feather. Comey turns to Blagojevich prosecutor for Trump criminal defense. Well, what do you know? And President Trump weighing in. We'll get to that in a second. But I guess we should let the indicted have his moment. Shall we? Let's hear what Jim Comey has to say.
Somebody that I love. My family and I have known for years that there are costs to standing up to Donald Trump. But we couldn't imagine ourselves living any other way. We will not live on our knees. And you shouldn't either. Somebody that I love dearly recently said that fear is the tool of a tyrant. And she's right. But I'm not afraid. And I hope you're not either. I hope instead you are engaged. You are paying attention. and you will vote like your beloved country depends upon it, which it does. My heart is broken for the Department of Justice, but I have great confidence in the federal judicial system, and I'm innocent. So let's have a trial.
Let's have a trial.
My family and I.
Just remember one thing, Jim. Remember one thing. I know you said you're not going to live on your knees, but if you go to prison, you never know what's going to happen there on your knees. Just don't drop the soap. That's what I'm told. So that's his pathetic response to his indictments. He insults, he's smug, he thinks he's above it all, and he's full on lying. One of the most arrogant, haughty, supercilious, smug, condescending, and conceited individuals I've ever seen. Thomas O'Connor says that. Of that. Caitlin Collins posted this 22 hours ago. She's the White House correspondent for CNN. News, former FBI Director James Comey is expected to surrender tomorrow, I'm being told. His initial appearance is expected to happen tomorrow at the Eastern District of Virginia, according to a person familiar. Providing an update from Kay Palance, Comey is now expected to be arraigned in federal court in Alexandria, Virginia on October 9th, according to the court record. The court has issued a summons for Comey to appear at 10 a.m. on October 9th. Two sources told CNN earlier that there was initial expectation Comey would surrender Friday, but there is no warrant for his arrest, according to the court record. That would require an immediate surrender. Gunter Eagleman replying, "Good, the mugshot will be epic." Lion Comey. Yeah. Remember what they did to our dear president? They gave him a mugshot, too. Turnabout is fair play, Comey. You shouldn't have messed with the bull because the horns are coming. Speaking of horns, here is President Trump schooling reporters after they accuse him of seeking revenge on James Comey. Gunter Eagleman writes, "This is peak Trump." Reporter asked, "Is this more about justice or is it about revenge?"
Oh, there'll be others.
Mr. President, I'm James Comey. Now that James Comey has been indicted, who is the next person on your list in this retribution?
It's not a list, but I think there'll be others. I mean, they're corrupt. These were corrupt, radical.
Oh, come on, Donald. We know there's a list. Don't be so bashful. We know there's a list. We're going to get to that list in a second, but I'm sorry. I kid. We've got a list.
Left Democrats, because Comey essentially was he was worse than a Democrat. I would say the Democrats are better than Comey. But no, there'll be others. Look, that's my opinion. They weaponized the Justice Department like nobody in history. What they've done is terrible. And so I hope there are others, because you can't let this happen to a country.
Will you appoint a permanent U.S. attorney to try this case? Lindsey Halligan has never tried a case.
Well, we'll see, but it's a pretty easy case because, look, he lied. You saw my truth today. He lied. It was yes, no. He didn't say, well, in my opinion, he didn't do a lot of things that maybe he should have, but I don't think he could because he lied. That was a very important question that he was asked. And he wanted to be specific, but he didn't. The only thing that happened to him, he didn't think he'd get caught. That answer that he gave, that was a very important answer. And it was for him, it was a very good answer if he didn't get caught. But he got caught lying to Congress.
How is this not President Trump, are you worried now that the next time there's a Democratic president, they will indict your FBI director or people in your administration?
That's what they tried to do, right? They did it with me. For 4 years, they went after me. They went after me for 4 years, and that doesn't include the 4 great years that we had in the White House. So when I ran it from 2016, when we won, it began before I got to office. You know that. Wait a minute. Before I came to office, I started hearing rumors about Russia. I said, what the hell do I have to do with Russia? Nothing. And then it got worse and worse. And some of the fakers, not you, but some of the fake news picked it up and they loved it. And we went through a long time with that. And despite that, we had a great first term.
Because that's how it went. Because that's how it went, where they made you go and take a mugshot. Is this more about justice or is it about revenge?
It's about justice, really. It's not revenge. It's about it's also about the fact that you can't let this go on. They are sick, radical left people, and they can't get away with it. And Comey was one of the people. He wasn't the biggest, but he's a dirty cop.
He wasn't the biggest. Who was the biggest? Mr. President, who was the biggest? Come on. Come on. Obama? Hillary? I mean, we know that the whole Russia scandal started with that the Hillary staffer, right? Giving it to Hillary and then giving it to Obama and then Obama giving it to Comey and the rest, the deep state. Oh, I wish he would just give us a little bit.
He's been a dirty cop. Everybody knew it. And it's, as far as the case is concerned, he gave an answer. It was a strong answer. He then verified it a couple of times because that was a very important answer. If he would have equivocated, if he would have been like a little bit less sure, that would have been very bad for him. So he gave an answer. The only problem is for him, he didn't think it'd be caught. And he got caught, Peter.
Dude, I love just watching him walk around the press. It's like he's a lion looking for his prey. And I've been in that position. I mean, I have seen this walk, and it's remarkable seeing all those reporters just scrambling and begging for questions. It's remarkable, but right, seeing it here on screen, oh, he's just like prowling, right?
This is about justice. He lied a lot, but this was a very important thing. He could have said, well, maybe, or I don't remember. He didn't say that. He gave a very specific answer, and then he verified it numerous times, and he got caught. The problem that Comey has is he got caught lying, and he was very strong. It's not like, well, maybe, or I don't remember. He gave a very specific answer because it was a very powerful question, a very important question. And when he gave the answer, the only problem is he got caught. So.
God, I just love watching him just like mess with the press and just go into them. We got some more here. Are you worried? Okay, so we just played that. Oh, here's Roger Stone. Let's see what Roger's saying. 16 hours ago, he posted this. What I just revealed about the fired U.S. Attorney Eric Seibert is stunning. Let's go, Roger Stone.
So the U.S. Attorney who was fired by Donald Trump in the Eastern District of Virginia, Eric Seibert, prepared a 51-page memo arguing that former FBI Director James Comey should not be indicted for lying to Congress under oath. What he didn't include in his memo is the fact that Seibert has a stunning conflict of interest. You see, his father-in-law, the father of his wife, is the godfather to James Comey's daughter. You can't make this stuff up. So the U.S. Attorney...
51-page document arguing. President Trump says more indictments will be coming against the corrupt deep state officials after Comey. There will be others. That's my opinion. They weaponize the Justice Department like nobody in history. I hope there are others. And of course, right on cue, over there on MSNBC, they are freaking out as the news broke.
Other than
for a criminal prosecution.
Well, what's remarkable about that, Alicia, is that if this lying to Congress charge is what we think it is, it really has nothing to do with the Trump-Russia investigation other than the fact that Comey was testifying at a hearing that was about that. It was about a leak that Andrew McCabe orchestrated to the Wall Street Journal about an investigation of the Clinton Foundation. So the thing that MAGA acolytes really want, which is they want James Comey to be charged and jailed with framing Donald Trump over the Russia investigation, is not going to happen because...
Oh, yeah? Really? I believe that investigation's ongoing, pal. I mean, if we can get him for, lying to Congress, I think that's a good start, right? I mean, can we just let Cash and Pam do their job and, investigate the whole Russiagate scandal? Russia. Yeah, they're going to hear a lot about that lately. Oh, it's not going to happen, he says, over there at MSNBC. I mean, I guess they do have a job there. Their job is to give their 2 or 3 viewers who are watching some kind of hope.
There was a special counsel named John Durham who looked exhaustively at it. He was appointed by Donald Trump, and if he could have charged anybody, James Comey, John Brennan, or otherwise, he would have, and he only charged very low-level people, and 2 of his cases exploded in his face. So, and he wrote a report that essentially did not really lay a glove on the propriety of the Trump-Russia investigation. But
that's because the pot is calling the kettle black. Right? The deep state investigating itself. And you really think they're going to go after Comey? No, because there's a new sheriff in town, pal. That's how it works. So don't go back to previous special counsels thinking that that's going to be, the gospel truth for your last thread of hope. All right? I just cut that thread, guy.
this is the MAGA mythology. I see it on social media every day. Kash Patel, the FBI director, and Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, are coming under criticism from their right flank because people are wondering why they haven't dragged FBI agents and prosecutors off in handcuffs who were involved in not only the Trump-Russia investigations, but the Jack Smith investigations.
Give them time. Give them time. All right? I'm gonna give them some grace. Will you give them some grace with me? I think that they deserve it. I mean, after everything that they've done to Donald Trump and his family, the wheels of justice, I've said before, they may grind a little slowly. But when they start to pick up steam, you don't want to get caught in the gears.
This is the pressure that they're feeling, and this is their effort to deliver on that. And so whatever qualms Pam Bondi had about this case, she is not about to say anything but praise it at this moment because she knows that's what Donald Trump wants her to do. This is a fulfillment of MAGA dreams. And there's a long list of people of Donald Trump.
I mean, a fulfillment? Well, it's a partial fulfillment. It's a good start. All right?
Political enemies that are on the list, that are under investigation, from John Bolton to John Brennan to, in fact, perhaps President Obama, to lesser-known figures like Chris Krebs and Miles Taylor. They are also in the crosshairs.
Yeah, get them too. I don't know who they are. Go for it, right?
And this is a moment we have never before seen in the United States. A
president who is actually upholding justice in the most crooked scandal, constitutional crisis we have ever seen. Yeah, we've never seen it before because it's never happened before. And we never had a president or a FBI director or an attorney general that actually had the freaking backbone to carry it out because the deep state always ran in every one of those circles, protecting themselves. Yeah, that's why we've never seen it, but this, come on.
President essentially orchestrating and ordering his Justice Department to prosecute individuals. It's like the old Stalinist saying, show me the man and I'll find you the crime. That's what we're experiencing right now.
Oh, is that what we're experiencing? Seriously, did you really just reference that? I mean, that's exactly what they did in New York to Donald Trump, right? Show me the man and I'll show you the crime, right? Letitia James? Oh, guess what? She's about to get perp walk too. I mean, maybe she should have filled out those mortgage documents honestly. She went after Donald Trump for mortgage fraud. Well, guess what? turnabout, again, is fair play.
Mary just said, she said, except maybe Nixon. And it's true. President Richard Nixon, he had an enemies list. And I think the biggest difference between that time and the times we are living through now is that even Richard Nixon attempted to do many things in secret and in silence, except he did, in fact, keep those tapes, which, one could argue if he had a do-over again, he might not have them. But the president of the United States is currently engaging in this conduct out and open, very brazenly, Christy. And to me, you're a prosecutor, you're a lawyer. This seems like a little bit more than just score settling here. This seems like the line between the executive and the Justice Department, which is supposed to be the Justice Department of the country, not the president's own personal Justice Department. If it wasn't already blurred before, today the lines are murky as all get out.
Oh, really? Murky?
Well, Trump has said that he is the chief law enforcement.
All right, I'm not even going to entertain these fools any longer. Okay, so here is Nick Adams' list. Who would you like to see the Trump DOJ indict next? A, Andrew McCabe. B, Hillary Clinton. C, Barack Obama. D, Letitia James. E, Fannie Willis. D, Dr. Fauci. Liz Cheney. Jack Smith. Alvin Bragg. John Brennan. James Clapper. Christopher Wray. Merrick Garland. And Ilhan Omar. Well, man, that's for me, it's a toss-up. It really is. It's like, do we go Hillary or Barack next? Guys, I need your help on this. I mean, maybe in the comments we can come to some kind of a consensus here. Man, it's really a toss-up. I mean, and Letitia and Fannie, and Fauci. I mean, crimes against humanity for that guy, but oh boy, Alvin Bragg too. But I guess the biggest ones would be Hillary and Barack for me. I mean, I guess we could just flip a coin. Do I have a coin here? No, I don't have a coin here. I would. Actually, I do. Look at that. Okay, let's flip a coin. We got, this is the Second Amendment is my gun permit coin. On one side, we have a skull with holding 2 guns, and then on the back, we have the seal of the United States. All right, let's go. Okay, so heads with the skull, tails with the seal. Heads is Hillary, and heads Hillary, tails Barack. Oh, okay, so it looks like tails it is. So Barack Obama is the winner. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Okay, so let's keep going. We got some more. Okay, what is this? Trump hater Michael Cohen. Oh, this is interesting. Trump hater Michael Cohen says Adam Schiff and Letitia James will be held accountable for mortgage fraud. You know, it's bad for the Democrats when Michael Cohen agrees with the Trump administration. Was Adam Schiff on that list? I didn't see Adam Schiff. You know what? He wasn't on that list. Okay, well, let's add him to the list. I mean, Schiff would be right up there with Hillary and Barack and Fauci. I mean, poof. Man. Okay, sorry. I digress. Let's go back and see what Michael Cohen is saying on MSNBC.
Political suicide. Look at what he's doing right now, for example, with Tish James. Look at what he's doing with Adam Schiff. And I'm going to make another bold prediction here on
a lot
show.
of predictions at 8 o'clock in the morning.
There's a lot of here. Take these notes because, mark my words, politically, they're both doomed. All right. I'm telling you right off the bat, this is a political suicide for both Tish James and Adam Schiff.
More of a political homicide.
Well, yeah, but how are they going to be? How are they politically doomed if Senator Schiff comes from a blue state? Attorney General Tish James is here in a blue state. They are elected by the people. How are they doomed politically?
It'll be gerrymander. It will end up being somehow. They will end up being held
races.
Yes, but they will also be held accountable. Mark my words. They will be held accountable for the crimes that they are now looking at. That's Ed Martin, who's looking at him. And I know so many people are going to say, oh, my God, Michael Cohen is like bending the knee to Trump. No, what I'm doing is I'm actually telling you the reality. We can talk to each other all day long and we can say, oh, I have 1 million followers. You have 1 million followers. It's the same 1 million followers. 77 million Americans ended up voting for Trump. Mark my words, Ed Martin, the Department of Justice, Pam Bondi, they will figure out exactly how to go after Adam Schiff, how to go after Tish James for these mortgage violations. And they
alleged
will be
mortgage violations.
Alleged, correct. Yeah. And they will be held accountable. That's my next prediction here on your show. And I know that I'm right, because if there is a signing of a box which is wrong, and trust me, I know, I went to prison. One of my charges was on my HELOC. I had a low mortgage onto it. I had 80% equity. They held me accountable for a HELOC violation. Theirs is much worse. And rest assured, allegedly, right. So let's go one step even further here. When you have the courts on your side as well, what chance do you have of success? It's why I turn around and I say, doomed.
Yeah.
Damn. That was beautiful. Michael Cohen coming out. Let's hear John Solomon also weighing in. Apparently, there's some big news about to drop. John Solomon got his hands on more documents and will be releasing them tomorrow morning. Let's check this out.
An internal. I want to talk a little bit about accountability and FBI. Tomorrow morning, you're going to wake up to a major story at Just the News. It answers a question that we've tried to pose for the last 5 years. Did FBI agents themselves believe the FBI had become biased? Tomorrow, you're going to see not 1, not 2, not 5, not 10, but scores of FBI agents telling their leadership in an internal memo after January 6th that they believe the FBI had become politically biased against the conservative movement and for liberals. And they cite extraordinary circumstances, extraordinary details, extraordinary statements. It's so rare for the FBI to speak up against their leadership internally, but this happened on Chris Wray's watch. Now, all the while, Chris Wray was telling Congress, we don't have a political bias problem, even though his own agents were saying day in and day out, they in fact had a political bias problem. The other thing we're going to answer.
Okay, so I mean, that just speaks to the whole climate of the FBI at that time. Christopher Wray, of course, following James Comey with that political bias and the attacks on Donald Trump. So, I mean, the attacks on the conservatives, the attacks on Donald Trump, the attacks on all of us, really. I mean, President Trump has said, they're not just they're coming after me. I'm just in the way of you, right? Okay, let's see what this other thing he says.
For you, for the first time, we're going to be able to give you a specific number. How many plainclothes FBI agents were in the crowd and working the Capitol on the day of January 6th? Now, we knew there were 23 undercover informants. We got you that.
Okay, so we know that's actually news that is already broken today. We're going to get to that in another segment of the show. So let's see here. Let's go back to, let's check in with CNN. Abby Phillip and her CNN panel of leftists are in disbelief at the idea that Trump's DOJ might have a case against Comey.
On the record, well,
those facts are not in question.
Somebody lied to Congress. Both of them were under oath when they were testifying to Congress. And if you look at the words that were given by James Comey, by the way, a guy on the record who has no problem leaking. He leaked to a professor to go ahead and get there to be a special grand jury into Donald Trump. So let's be clear. He is a pro at this. He's not an amateur. Okay, James Comey went pro in leaking.
Okay, that's
a fact.
Let's stick with what we're talking about today. But
no, but I'm saying there is a history with him.
I don't think that history
leaking.
is relevant.
I think it's relevant. We're talking about did you or did you not leak classified information?
I really want you to finish your original point. You were saying.
So I go back.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with bringing up other crimes, right? I mean, it all adds to the atmosphere of the attacks on Donald Trump.
To the history. Is there a chance that he leaked and lied? Yes. Is there a chance he lied to Congress? Is there a chance that Comey and McCabe both lied under oath? There are a lot of options here, but the idea that you're saying that, like, oh, we know and it's a weak case, I don't think tonight.
Okay.
Hold on, even the people on the Judiciary
let me just tell you the
don't
reason.
know which testimony it was.
Yeah, well, let me just tell you. Hold on. Let me just tell you the reason I said that there are certain parts of this that are not in question. In the interview with the Office of Inspector General, Andy McCabe, who was James Comey's deputy, he admitted to the Inspector General that he was the one who authorized the leak. He also admitted that after the leak, he went to his boss, James Comey, told him about it. Now, the part of it that is in
What's so funny, she's like, we don't want to talk about leaks. She goes in to defend them all.
question is, McCabe characterizes that conversation one way, saying that Comey just sort of shrugged, didn't really say that it was a bad thing. And Comey says, no, that's not what happened. I actually thought it was very problematic. But on top of that, one of the other parts of this is that
enough of you. I'm done. I'm done with you. I want to hear what more John Solomon had to say when he was with Hannity.
It could be.
John, let's start with the news and what you're hearing tonight.
Well, listen, the key testimony against James Comey is going to come from his inner circle. One of the people that he trusted and ran the FBI alongside of will be the key witness saying, no, he authorized me to leak information, contrary to what he testified to Congress. That's going to be a difficult case for James Comey to defend. I just want to step back. Yeah, well, it could be McCabe. It could be Daniel Ritchie. It could be James Baker. I keep an eye on James Baker. Remember the documents we had on your show a couple of weeks ago? All three of those are in position to testify they were authorized to leak. We'll see which one is person three when we in the indictment. But I would bet it's James Baker from what I know. The second thing that is just the pure magnitude of what happened today. 50 years ago this year, an attorney general was convicted for the first time in history of crimes. Tonight, for the first time in history, an FBI director is indicted on crimes, and both men face the same charges. False statements and obstruction of justice. It's an extraordinary moment, a grave moment, when a director of the FBI is accused of this level of criminality.
Your sources tonight are telling you what, John Solomon? What could be next?
I think other government officials are in danger of being indicted in the coming weeks, some in the FBI, some in other parts of the government. This is the beginning of a large accountability roundup in government. And I think what's really remarkable, most of my career I've spent uncovering FBI cover-ups. The FBI has a long history of misleading Congress. Comey falls into that. But the evidence against Comey tonight comes from the FBI and its new director, Kash Patel, who promised radical transparency. And he actually provides the key piece of evidence that leads to this indictment. If you're a member of Congress and you've been tired of being lied to by the FBI, tonight's the first time the FBI actually did something about it. They turned in their own man tonight. I think that's an extraordinary part of this story.
Yes, it is. He even says more are coming. President Trump also declaring more is coming. Looks like we got some explosive fireworks over on the 5. Jesse Waters bodying Jessica Tarlov as she whined over Comey's indictment.
When you lie to
preemptive pardons because he knew that you were a vengeful bunch of babies.
But who didn't get it? But who didn't get the pardon?
Comey missed out on the
Comey didn't get the pardon. So this is just the beginning. Everybody has to have their house in order. They got to make sure their taxes are right. They got to make sure they never lied to Congress. They have to make sure they never committed mortgage fraud. Because the difference here is these things are actual crimes. When you lie to Congress, it's a crime. When you obstruct an official investigation, that's a crime. They didn't have to bake up some fugazi, untested, unprecedented law thing like Bragg. Oh, Eric Siebert. He's basically Comey's best friend. He got stuck in there.
Is that why Pam Bondi
and then
Todd
his son-in-law
Blanche defended him?
is in there. And then, all of Comey's, misfits are sitting in there. You get them out of there, clean out the scum, and put real people in there to do the job.
And Bondi.
Yeah, Kash Patel's a serious guy. And all he's doing is making it right. Now, Jessica,
okay, he said he didn't know if Epstein ever trafficked anyone.
I'm not talking about
serious
Epstein.
Guy. No, that's about Kash Patel's seriousness.
We really don't care what you guys say or what you think or how loud you're complaining because you guys did this, you started it, and we're going to finish it.
Does this count as Jessica's time?
No.
Yeah, we are going to finish the game. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. So, This matters because James Comey represents everything wrong with our government. An unelected bureaucrat who thought he could overthrow the will of 70 million voters. He turned the FBI into his personal political weapon, spied on Americans, lied to Congress. Now he's facing justice, and Trump promises more indictments are coming. This is not revenge. It's restoration of the rule of law. For years, they called us crazy for saying that the deep state was real. Today, their own documents prove we were right all along. The same people who locked up grandmothers for walking through the Capitol, yeah, they had 274 agents orchestrating the whole thing. See, the corruption runs deeper than anyone ever imagined. So here's my question. Should every FBI official who signed off on the Russia hoax face criminal charges? Yes or no? Excuse me. And who do you want to see next to fall? Drop your answers in the comments. And while you're fired up, check out our merch shop. It's linked down below where you can wear your patriotism proudly.